Chosen one. Something inside you already knew. You felt it before the words reached your ears, before their smiles turned hollow, before the warmth you thought was real began to chill your spirit. The energy around you has shifted, and heaven needs you to understand why. God said they're sending you fake love, disguised affection meant to confuse your heart, to drain your strength, to make you question your worth. But listen closely. You are not being punished. You are being awakened. This is not rejection. It's revelation. The false hands that once reached for you were never meant to hold you. The voices that praised you did so with hidden tongues. Every illusion of care is being exposed, so you can see clearly who you are without their mirrors. When love is real, it heals. When it's fake, it performs. And lately, you've seen the performances everywhere. People acting like they care, yet their souls are miles away. They copy your light, echo your words, pretend to understand your pain. They hug you, but their arms carry envy. They smile, but their hearts whisper curses. You thought it was love, but it was strategy. God is showing you what counterfeit affection looks like so you never fall for it again. You were chosen for truth, not for comfort. The moment you started to rise, they started to mimic. The closer you moved toward purpose, the more imposters appeared, each one testing your discernment, each one teaching you how to love without being used. You're not losing people. You're losing illusions. Every fake embrace was allowed, so you'd stop searching for love in the wrong frequency. The truth is, most people don't want to love you. They want to drain what makes you glow. But this exposure is divine protection. God is cutting cords quietly. He's erasing names from your heart that were never written in your destiny. Don't chase explanations. Don't beg closure. Just understand. Some connections were built on your energy, not on genuine emotion. Fake love can't survive where real purpose lives. So when you feel the silence, don't fear it. When you notice people fading, don't chase them. The absence is holy. The loneliness you feel right now is actually God cleaning your circle, one false smile at a time. The ones leaving your life aren't losing you. You're being released from them. The counterfeit must be removed before the authentic can enter. That's why it hurts. That's why you feel betrayed by faces you trusted. But that pain is purification. You are being prepared for real alignment, where love isn't taken from you, but built with you. This is the beginning of your clarity. The storm of deception that once blinded you is clearing. What's about to come next will make sense of every fake "I love you," every shallow "I miss you," every time you felt unseen while giving your all. They thought they fooled you, but they only revealed themselves. And now, chosen one, God is saying, be careful, but don't become cold. Stay wise, but don't lose your warmth. Because your real love, the divine kind, is still on its way. The most dangerous love isn't hate. It's the one that pretends to be real. Chosen one, that's the battlefield you're standing on right now. They smile at you. They speak softly. They promise loyalty. But the energy doesn't match their words. Their eyes look at you, yet their spirit hides something darker. You can feel it. even when you try to deny it. It's that quiet pull in your gut telling you something's off. That unease is not paranoia, it's discernment. God planted that warning inside you so you could recognize when someone's affection is just a mask, when love becomes a weapon wrapped in sweetness. And now the truth is coming to the surface. You're not here by accident. You've been guided to this very moment. Write your warmest wish in the comments and place the number 99 beside it. It's time to release your wish to the universe. This is your declaration of clarity. You're no longer accepting imitation energy. You're no longer feeding what secretly feeds on you. If your spirit woke up while listening, don't scroll away. Like this video. Subscribe now. You belong here, among the ones who see beyond illusion, who refuse to be played by shadows dressed as love. Your energy is sacred. Protect it like treasure. The love they offered came with invisible strings, emotional contracts disguised as comfort. They wanted access, not connection. They wanted your peace, not your partnership. They wanted the warmth of your presence without ever giving you theirs. They studied your kindness, your softness, your giving nature, and they used it as a map to manipulate you. But what they didn't realize is that fake love has an expiration date, and God is the one who decides when it ends. The moment you saw through it, their power broke. You've noticed how their tone changes when you stop giving, how their eyes harden when you set a boundary, how their love turns cold the second you say no. That's the truth revealing itself. They never loved you. They loved your light. They wanted the reflection of themselves you gave them, not the real you. So when you stop mirroring their ego, they disappear. But don't mistake that disappearance as loss. It's divine subtraction. The universe removes what's false before it brings what's real. Every heartbreak you've experienced wasn't just emotional. It was spiritual surgery. God was cutting away the false attachments that kept you small. You were never meant to live a life surrounded by imitation hearts. You were meant to love deeply, but wisely. And now, you're learning the difference. Real love won't drain you. It will breathe life into you. Real love won't make you question your worth. It will remind you of it. Real love won't hide. It will show up, even when it's inconvenient. That's what you're being prepared for. So guard your energy, chosen one. The same way the moon hides its full light until the right time, you must protect your heart until real love arrives. Don't reveal everything to those who come wrapped in flattery. Test their spirit. Observe their consistency. Watch how they treat you when you have nothing to offer. That's where the truth always lives. Fake love needs attention to survive. Real love stays even when you're silent. You are entering a season where discernment will be your greatest shield. Don't apologize for outgrowing people who only pretended to care. Don't apologize for your intuition exposing what your heart didn't want to see. You've passed the test. You've learned the lesson. And soon, everything fake around you will collapse under the weight of your truth. It starts quietly. Chosen one, the moment you realize that the love you received was never love at all. It's like waking up from a dream, where every word, every smile, every "I care about you" was scripted. You look back and see the signs you ignored, the way they only called when they needed something, the way their affection vanished the moment your energy dimmed, the way they celebrated your light but never helped you protect it. That realization doesn't just sting, it reshapes you. Because you finally see what God was trying to show you all along. Not everyone sent into your life was meant to love you. Some were sent to expose what love is not. When you're chosen, you attract both angels and imitators. Your light draws the pure, and it also draws those pretending to be pure. That's why fake love feels so confusing. It mimics divine affection, but lacks the depth of it. It mimics loyalty, but has conditions hidden behind every word. And when you start to rise, those who came with masks begin to tremble. Your growth threatens their comfort. Your boundaries offend their manipulation. They start to call you distant, cold, changed. But what they don't realize is that you're no longer addicted to the performance. You no longer need validation from those who only loved you when you were quiet, small, and available. You're evolving beyond their reach. And yes, that evolution feels lonely. The phone goes silent. The conversations dry out. The energy shifts. But that silence isn't punishment. It's protection. It's the sound of heaven resetting your frequency. You were surrounded by actors who rehearsed their lines so well that you believed the show. Now, the curtain has fallen, and only the truth remains. Fake love couldn't survive the purity of your growth. That's why it left when you stopped pretending to. You might still replay moments in your head, the words they said, the memories you thought were real. But remember this, God never lets lies live long around his chosen. What was hidden will always come to light. They thought you wouldn't notice the patterns, but you did. They thought you'd break when they withdrew, but you didn't. They thought your heart would turn bitter, but instead, it became wiser. You learned that discernment is love's guardian. You learned that silence speaks louder than flattery. And most importantly, you learned that real love doesn't confuse, it clarifies. Every fake "I love you" you survived became a stepping stone toward the divine truth of what real love should feel like. It should bring peace, not anxiety. It should feel safe, not uncertain. It should align with your spirit, not battle against it. The ones who gave you fake love were part of your awakening. They were mirrors showing you your own capacity to love without being loved back. That's the kind of strength only the chosen possess, because even when deceived, you kept loving. Even when drained, you kept giving. Even when your heart shattered, you still chose light over bitterness. That resilience is your superpower. Fake love was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal the indestructible within you. Every false connection you outgrew created room for divine connections to enter. And soon they will. But before that happens, God wants your heart clean. He wants no trace of resentment, no leftover attachment to what was fake. Because resentment is still a form of attachment, and you can't step into your next level holding the ghost of imitation love. Forgive them, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Chosen one, the universe saw how you stayed pure even when surrounded by deception, and that purity will be rewarded. Those who once sent you fake love will soon witness the real love that surrounds you. Not just romantic love, but divine alignment, abundance, peace, and genuine souls drawn to your frequency. The counterfeit was a test. The real is a promise. And you're almost there. Chosen one. The test wasn't about them. It was about you. God allowed the illusion so you could finally meet yourself beyond it. You had to learn that love isn't proven by words, but by energy. You had to see how easily people can fake care, so that when the real arrives, you'll recognize it without confusion. The fake ones were teachers in disguise, not of affection, but of awareness. They taught you that not everyone who touches your hand deserves to hold your heart. They taught you that discernment isn't coldness, it's spiritual intelligence. And now that you've learned, heaven is shifting your frequency higher. That's why everything that once appealed to your old self suddenly feels heavy, empty, wrong. You've outgrown emotional illusions. This is where your story turns. You're not the same person who once begged to be understood. You no longer chase closure from those who never had the depth to give it. You've learned that their love wasn't real. It was curiosity disguised as devotion, interest mistaken for intimacy. They studied your heart like it was a secret they wanted to own. But real love doesn't study, it understands. Real love doesn't imitate, it inspires, and that's what's coming. The genuine will recognize you not for your light alone, but for the shadows you've survived. They will love your scars, not your image. The reason you had to experience fake love was to detox your spirit from codependency. You needed to realize that your worth isn't proven by how much you're needed, but by how much you honor yourself when no one claps. Fake love thrives in your need to be seen. Real love finds you once you no longer perform. That's what this season is doing. Breaking your addiction to approval. You're no longer seeking love to feel whole. You're becoming whole. And that's why real love is finally being magnetized toward you. You've probably noticed that as you became wiser, people started to call you hard, different, or unavailable. But that's not true. You didn't become harder. You became sacred. You stopped explaining your intuition. You stopped apologizing for protecting your peace. You stopped lowering your energy to meet people who never planned to rise. And because of that, some will label your boundaries as arrogance. Don't explain yourself. They only understood your brokenness. They were never meant to understand your healing. And now, you stand at the threshold of something divine. The heartbreaks, betrayals, and illusions that once crushed you have become your initiation. You've walked through the valley of imitation and emerged wiser, lighter, and more powerful than ever. Fake love used to make you question your worth. Now, it reminds you of your power. You can feel it, the shift in your soul. You no longer crave to be chosen because you know you are, not by people, but by purpose. That's why God allowed their betrayal, to reintroduce you to your divine identity. Soon, you'll notice something strange. Those who once faked their love will start to seek your energy again. They'll say they miss you, that they've changed, that they finally see your value. But be careful. Some will return not to rebuild, but to re-enter what God already closed. you must recognize recycled energy when it knocks. Forgive them, but do not reopen the door. Closure isn't always a conversation. Sometimes it's silence that stays silent. Let them talk to your absence. Let them feel the void they created. Because this time, you're not falling for the performance. You've seen behind the curtain. You know the difference between energy that expands you and energy that drains you. And the moment you protect your peace, everything fake will dissolve naturally. This is your evolution, chosen one, the sacred separation between illusion and truth. You've survived the theater of false affection. Now the stage is yours. The air feels different now, chosen one. Quieter, cleaner, heavier with meaning. You've walked through the fire of false affection and came out untouchable. You no longer crave validation from those who faked their care. Your soul has tasted the difference between flattery and truth. And though it hurt, though it tore your heart apart to realize some smiles were weapons, you now understand that God never exposes without purpose. Every fake, "I love you," was a lesson written in invisible ink. And when you finally learned to read with your spirit instead of your emotions, the message became clear. Not everyone sent into your life was sent by God. You were chosen for a reason, and that reason makes you both luminous and dangerous to those who live in darkness. Fake love was their disguise, but their real goal was distraction, to dim you, to drain you, to make you doubt the power you carry. But they failed, because you saw the patterns. You felt the shift. You recognized the way they changed when you stopped pouring into them. That recognition was the moment your energy became protected by heaven itself. You are now surrounded by a field of discernment, an invisible light that reveals every lie before it reaches your heart. There's a strange peace that comes after the storm of deception. You stop chasing answers. You stop trying to fix what was never genuine. You learn that closure is an illusion, and silence is often God's final word. And in that silence, something miraculous happens. You begin to love yourself in a way you never did before. Not because someone told you that you're worthy, but because you know you are. You stop performing. You stop explaining. You simply exist, and that existence itself becomes your strength. That's when real love will find you, because real love can only recognize authenticity, not performance. The people who pretended to love you will remember your energy long after you're gone. They will think about your presence in rooms where your name isn't spoken. They will replay moments when your light made them feel alive and realize too late that they never truly knew you. That's the curse of sending fake love to a chosen one. It always returns empty. You can't fake love to someone who was born of it. Your love is too sacred to be imitated, too divine to be counterfeited. And that's why those who fake their affection will soon face spiritual hunger. They'll crave a kind of connection that no performance can recreate. But you, chosen one, are moving into a realm where only authenticity can follow. Every smile you see, every hand you shake, every bond you form will be filtered through divine discernment. You'll no longer need to wonder who's real. Your spirit will tell you instantly. The vibration of fake love will sound like static to your soul. You'll feel it in your body, sense it in your bones. and quietly walk away without explanation, because peace no longer needs to be defended. It just needs to be protected. And soon, those who once deceived you will witness your peace and mistake it for pride. They'll see your silence and think you've forgotten them, but in truth, you've forgiven them. You've simply moved beyond their frequency. You no longer dwell in the shallow waters of emotional manipulation. You've become the ocean itself. They can throw stones if they want, but your tides won't move for noise. You're focused on divine alignment now, on the genuine connections that are forming quietly behind the scenes, guided by God, unseen by envy. This is your restoration phase, the part of your story where you no longer chase love. You attract it. The energy that once deceived you has no access here. Fake love cannot pass the gates of divine purpose. It fades before it even reaches you. And you, chosen one, will finally understand that real love isn't something you search for. It's something that rises to meet you when you're no longer pretending to be small. The lesson is complete. The masks have fallen. The stage is empty. But your light, it's just beginning to rise. The night is quiet now, chosen one. The storm that once roared through your heart has settled into sacred stillness. You've walked through betrayal, survived emotional deception, and emerged purified. What once broke you has now built a fortress around your soul. God said they were sending you fake love, not to punish you, but to awaken you. Every false word, every empty promise, every shallow "I love you" carved new space in your spirit for something real. You no longer chase after people who mimic care. You no longer mistake attention for affection. You've become a guardian of your own energy, and heaven smiles at your strength. Look at how far you've come. You once tried to heal others by setting yourself on fire just to keep them warm. You once mistook their inconsistency for your failure. But now, you understand that fake love always collapses under truth. It was never your job to hold together what was built on lies. It was never your duty to teach people how to love you right. God needed you to see how easily words can be used as weapons, how emotions can be tools of manipulation. Because now, when real love finds you, it won't have to prove itself. You'll just know. Every tear that fell in confusion has watered the soil of your transformation. You were never naive for believing in people. You were pure. And purity is rare. It threatens those who live in pretense. They couldn't match your heart, so they tried to drain it. But they underestimated what divine protection looks like. Every fake connection was a setup for a revelation. Every heartbreak was God whispering, "That's not love. That's a lesson." And now, the lesson has ended. The curtain has closed on imitation affection. You've passed through the valley of falsehood, and the view ahead is clear. Do you feel it? That weight leaving your chest? That's not emptiness. It's release. You're being freed from the emotional contracts you never signed, from the expectations that weren't yours to carry. The people who once faked their love for you will soon realize they played themselves. You can't counterfeit energy. You can't mimic divinity. They tried to take from a soul powered by God, and now that power has returned to its source. You've become what they pretended to be. genuine, whole, and aligned. That's your revenge, chosen one. Authentic peace. Soon you'll meet people who love without agenda, who don't flinch when you set boundaries, who don't vanish when you shine brighter. You'll know them instantly. Their energy will feel like home, not a performance, and in their presence you'll finally exhale, because this time you won't be loving from your wounds, you'll be loving from your wisdom. The old version of you that tolerated fake love is gone, buried, replaced by someone whose heart has been refined by fire. You're not afraid to be alone anymore, because solitude no longer feels like emptiness. It feels like sovereignty. So remember this: every fake "I love you" was a prophecy of the real one coming. Every deceit was a rehearsal for truth. Every time they pretended, heaven recorded it. Justice is not always thunderous. It's quiet restoration, and your restoration has begun. You'll see it in the calm mornings, in the peace that no one can disturb, in the blessings that arrive effortlessly. That's how you'll know the season has shifted. Fake love will vanish from your path because your frequency no longer welcomes it. You've ascended beyond manipulation. You've mastered emotional alchemy, turning pain into discernment, loneliness into alignment, betrayal into divine wisdom. Chosen one, you were never meant to be understood by the shallow. You were meant to be revered by the real. The world tried to dim your light with false affection, but all it did was teach you how to shine without applause. You are not cold. You are consecrated. You are not bitter. You are chosen. And the next time someone says they love you, you won't rush to believe it. You'll watch their spirit, not their smile, because you finally understand. Real love doesn't shout, it shows. This is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of divine connection. The ones who faked their love have fulfilled their purpose. They awakened your discernment. Now, God is preparing the real ones to enter your life. They won't compete with your peace. They'll protect it. They won't take from you. They'll build with you. And when that love arrives, you'll know it wasn't coincidence. It was covenant. Your soul will recognize it because it will feel like something you lost long ago has finally come home. The wait is over. The illusions are gone. The real has begun.